Hello friends, Sean here with today's view from the chair. Today's view from the chair is going to be a video view from the chair. I've had a lot of questions about drum sounds and things, and with the Jim Donovan record that's been out and around, and now the Hawkeyes record that we're working on now, there's a few songs trickling out. I figured I'd break it down and show you what's going on. But I would like to do a little disclaimer. It all starts with the part and the drummer and the room, the cool mic preamps and compressors and EQs and microphones and all the witchcraft that people lean on for getting any kind of recorded sound, but specifically drums. It really is about finding the right part, and I work a long time. You can ask any of the folks that we've done records with about getting the right part in composition and attitude, and then balancing the drum set out. You know, if you want the snare drum typically to be the loudest thing, and then maybe the bass drum in the mix, and you want an organic kind of raw sound that we've gone for here, not a manicured program type of sound, but an organic, roomy thing. You have to balance that drum set. You can't be bashing the crashes or the hi-hats and expect the snare drum to speak loudly. So I work a lot and a long time with guys, and hopefully girls in the future. I've not had any female drummers on records, but here's to the future, about getting them to play the right part for the song and hitting the drums to make them speak properly. So let's go through the kit. Here we go. Another disclaimer, these are the real drums from a song from the Hawkeyes called John Q, but what you're hearing with the guitars and bass and vocal, that's all scratch demo stuff that was done a while back. So just listen to the drums, pay no attention to the guitar, vocal, and bass. So bass drum is the trusted Yamaha 24x16 Maple Custom from the, late 80s, early 90s. It's won pretty much every bass drum shootout we've had with all my old stuff that I have. Guys bringing other bass drums in when we try things out. That one always wins. So that's what you're hearing there. This is probably either an AKG D12, an old original guy, or D112 inside the drum. I have one of those May miking deals so that I can keep the front head solid. So you get kind of that humming and the resonance of that kind of bottom thing that we're going for on this one. But you do have the mic inside the drum to get the thuddiness that you want from an inside bass drum mic. Here you go. So that's the inside bass drum mic. Here is your snare top. My bad, that was snare bottom first. Top, that's a 57 going through a Neve 33114. Always print a little top like 12 and print a little, I think it's 160 or 180 on that Neve channel. Here's the bottom. That's a 57. No EQ, that's probably just through API 512. And then the only kind of tricky, goofy, nerdy thing that we have is a mic that's off the kit, because you really aren't used to hearing a snare drum with your head on the drum. The drum sounds natural 3-4 feet off. So this is a KM84 that's keyed or triggered, if you will, from the other snare drum, from the close mic. So that's this here. You can hear a little bit of the bass drum bleed in there, but again, that's keyed off of the close mic, and it's actually, not to get too geeky or nerdy on you, it's pushed out a few samples in time, not samples like drum samples, but samples in time, so that the gate opens up in time for that mic to open up. So here's all three of the snare sources. close, bottom, off. And there's your whole kit for context. Again, most of what you're hearing is printed EQ compression. There's a little bit of compression on some bonus, extra compression on the room mics. My goal with printing any tone is I hope to have an idea where I want to be sonically. And if that's it, I print maybe 75% of it. I don't want to totally paint myself in a corner, but I don't want to leave decisions to be made down the road. I want to try to get close to where I want to be. So now I'll put a little bit of EQ on here, a little bit of compression after the fact to give me that final 15, 20% or whatever we're trying to get to the finish line. The other thing I'll do is I spend a ton of time on the overhead pair and a mic I call front of kit mic. Those are everything. Getting phase relationships between whatever it is, we got maybe 15 mics, 12 mics here. Getting them all to play well together is the black magic part of it. But I lean heavily on the overhead pair and this front of kit pair. So let's listen to just the overhead pair. That's a pair of Coles 4038s in kind of a modified ORTF, a little wider than that. And I printed a little bit of manly compression. You can hear where the snare drum is kind of snappy. That's that compressor grabbing a little bit. The trouble on this one is if a drummer's not balanced, like we talked about earlier, and he's not playing the kit in a orchestrated way, drums being louder than cymbals, this mic's not going to work because cymbals, your ride cymbal especially, is just going to come rushing in. So here's that mic again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it in and out of the balance, and you're going to hear the impact it has on the drum set. That's in. Boo, that was a solo fail. Let's try that again. So that's in. That's out. I don't know if you're able to hear that on your home speakers, but just listen to the weight and the gravity of the kit, specifically the bass drum and the bottom octave, the snare drum. You'll hear the difference when I punch this guy in and out. So those mics, those overheads, and that front of kit mic, that is 80% of the drum sound. There are some room pairs that we'll listen to real quick, and you'll see how they affect the space of the kit and the breadth of it. That's my main... that's my main close room pair. That's about 10 foot off. I use that all of the time. Every record, that seems to be a good picture of the drum set. Whether you're playing chill or whether you're bashing, it's a good picture of the drum set. Like the overheads, like the front of kit mic, it's a good organic look at and hopefully balanced look at the drum set. If the guy's playing right, we can use these to be a big part of the drum set. If the cymbals get too crazy, then it's hard to use these because they just dominate that pair. So again, here, I'll bring those in and out of the kit and you'll hear that. That's just the room pair, the close room pair. And I always put a far pair up as well. These were U67s, way back in the room, wide pair. And I'll bring those in and out of the balance, and you can hear that as well. Well, I hope that explains a little bit more about what's going on with the drum set. But again, it's all about the drummer. It's all about the part. And that holds true with guitar parts or even singing, finding the right tempo, finding the right part, and getting the drummer or whoever it is to play that instrument that's the best for the song. Then you can get a pretty cool drum sound. Like I think we got a good one here. Now we'll start mixing this thing and making it hopefully even better and work better for the song. But I'll let you hear the drum kit as we go out. Thanks for watching. Drop me a line if there's any questions. Take care.